You know what blows my mind? Abu Bakr R.A. wasn't just a friend, he was the backbone of the Prophet's mission. Imagine someone who doesn't just say, "I'm with you," but proves it with loyalty, sacrifice, wealth, and even risking his own life. When danger surrounded the Prophet, Abu Bakr R.A. stood shoulder to shoulder, ready to die if needed. That kind of faith, courage, and devotion isn't just rare, it's legendary. Abu Bakr R.A. wasn't just a friend. He was the kind of person every believer dreams of having by their side. Imagine someone who doesn't just say, "I'm with you," but proves it through every sacrifice, every penny, and even risking his own life. That's Abu Bakr R.A. When the Prophet faced threats, enemies plotting to kill him, most would have run or hidden. But Abu Bakr R.A. stood shoulder to shoulder, unwavering. His loyalty wasn't just admirable, it was legendary. There's a moment that truly defines faith. During the migration to Medina, they hid in a cave. The enemy searched outside, and fear could have overwhelmed anyone. Abu Bakr R.A. whispered, "If they just look down, we're finished." Yet the Prophet, calm and serene, replied, "Do not worry, Allah is with us." Imagine the trust, the faith it takes to stay when fear is pressing from all sides. Abu Bakr R.A. stayed. He didn't flee. That's a lesson in unwavering trust in Allah. When fear knocks, faith answers. Abu Bakr's R.A. devotion wasn't limited to courage. It extended to his wealth. He was the first to give everything he had for the cause of Islam. When the Prophet asked, "What have you left for your family?" Abu Bakr R.A.'s response was profound. "I leave them Allah and His Messenger." True faith isn't measured by material possessions, it's measured by trust in Allah, by putting the mission of truth above comfort and security. Then came the most testing moment. The Prophet passed away. The entire Muslim community was in shock, unable to process the reality. Some even denied it. Abu Bakr R.A. rose to the occasion and delivered one of the most powerful statements in history. "Whoever worshipped Muhammad, know that Muhammad has passed, but whoever worships Allah, know that Allah is ever living." This wasn't just leadership, it was a beacon, a pillar, holding a fragile community together. Without him, chaos could have consumed Islam before it even had a chance to grow. Abu Bakr's R.A. leadership wasn't loud or flashy. He wasn't famous for tales of battle or grand speeches. His strength lay in calm, steady action, in protecting the message, organizing the community, and safeguarding the Quran. He sent armies when rebellion threatened the young Muslim state, and he ensured that Islam would survive and thrive. That's why he is rightly called the protector of Islam. In moments of fragility, when the future seemed uncertain, Abu Bakr's R.A. steadfastness became the anchor that prevented collapse. And here's the truly inspiring part. Abu Bakr's R.A. example goes beyond history. He shows us what true loyalty, faith, and courage look like. Even in moments of fear, uncertainty, or rebellion, he stood firm. Tribes refused to pay zakat, chaos surrounded the community, and many felt it was over. But Abu Bakr R.A. refused to surrender. He sent the armies, upheld the Prophet's mission, and carried the weight of an entire religion on his shoulders. Imagine the responsibility, the pressure, the magnitude of that task. Yet, instead of breaking, he rose taller. Abu Bakr R.A. also protected the spiritual integrity of Islam. His dedication ensured that the message of Allah remained intact, guiding millions for generations to come. His life teaches us a critical lesson. True strength lies not in power or wealth, but in faith, trust in Allah, and the courage to act righteously when it matters most. Every time we face challenges in our lives, we can reflect on Abu Bakr R.A.'s example. Fear is natural, but faith can be stronger. Hesitation is human, but action guided by principle can move mountains. In a world where loyalty often seems rare and courage is tested daily, Abu Bakr R.A. stands as a timeless model of devotion, leadership, and unshakable faith. So next time you feel fear, doubt, or uncertainty, remember Abu Bakr R.A., the man who risked everything, who gave everything, and who held the truth steady in the hardest moments. Let his legacy inspire your loyalty, your faith, and your courage, because with Allah by your side, you can stand firm no matter what. Have you ever thought about what it really takes to preserve a legacy? Not just in stories or memories, but in something that lasts for centuries? Let me tell you about Abu Bakr, the man whose vision and dedication saved the Quran and ensured Islam would thrive for generations to come. Abu Bakr As-Siddiq didn't just live for the moment, he lived for the future. When so many companions who had memorized the Quran were dying in battles, the risk of losing the knowledge of Allah's words was real, but Abu Bakr As-Siddiq stepped in. He pushed to gather the Quran into one written, preserved book. He took responsibility when no one else might have dared. Because of his vision, every single person reading the Quran today owes a debt of gratitude to him. That is a legacy beyond most humans' imagination, a gift to countless generations that can never be forgotten. Calling him the protector of Islam is almost an understatement. Abu Bakr As-Siddiq wasn't just safeguarding the faith in that moment, he was ensuring its survival for centuries. Without his dedication, Islam might have remained a fragile, short-lived movement vulnerable to confusion and collapse. But with him, it grew into a civilization that has thrived for over 14 centuries and continues to grow today. What makes Abu Bakr As-Siddiq remarkable isn't just his courage or wisdom, it's his personality. He wasn't a tyrant, a power-hungry man, or someone obsessed with fame. He was humble, gentle, and soft-spoken. Yet, when history demanded strength, he became unshakable, a pillar of steel. That's real strength, staying steadfast when everything around you is falling apart. He proved that true power lies in faith, loyalty, and sacrifice, not in titles, wealth, or force. Abu Bakr As-Siddiq had an extraordinary balance. On one hand, he was the powerful leader holding a whole community together. On the other, he was humble, approachable, and compassionate. Though wealthy at the beginning of Islam, he gave away his riches for the cause, freeing slaves, helping the poor, and supporting the Prophet, PBUH, when nobody else could. He gave without hesitation, without regret. For Abu Bakr As-Siddiq, faith was worth more than gold, and the service of humanity was more valuable than comfort or wealth. But his generosity wasn't limited to money. Abu Bakr As-Siddiq was generous with his time, his compassion, and his entire being. Anyone in need could find comfort in him. He treated people like family, and this is why he was not only respected but genuinely loved. Even with such influence, he never acted like a king. He lived simply. Simple food, simple clothes, simple lifestyle, because leadership in his view was about service, not luxury. This humility made his leadership effective. People trusted him because he led with sincerity. He wasn't seeking personal gain or status. He was serving the greater good of Islam. And when the time came for succession, Abu Bakr As-Siddiq demonstrated unmatched wisdom and selflessness. Even in his final days, while sick and aware that his end was near, he thought of the community first. He recommended Umar ibn al-Khattab RRA as his successor, knowing the Ummah needed a strong and decisive leader. His ego never interfered. His concern was only for the stability and prosperity of Islam. When Abu Bakr As-Siddiq passed away, the community mourned deeply. This was the man who had held them together after the Prophet PBUH, the one who guided them through the darkest hours of uncertainty and fear. And though he left this world, the foundation he built remained unshakable. Islam could continue to grow, protected by the strength, wisdom, and loyalty he instilled in its people. Abu Bakr's As-Siddiq greatness wasn't in a single act. It was in how he lived every day, steady, humble, loyal, courageous, and unwavering. He was Islam's first caliph, yes, but more importantly, he was Islam's protector. Every decision he made, every sacrifice he offered, every challenge he faced was for the preservation of the faith. That kind of impact doesn't fade. It echoes through centuries, inspiring every believer who learns of his life. And here's the remarkable truth. Abu Bakr As-Siddiq wasn't only protecting the community emotionally, he was safeguarding the spiritual core of Islam. He ensured that the Quran, the ultimate guidance for mankind, would remain intact. He carried the weight of history and responsibility with humility and unwavering faith. And that's a lesson for us all. True leadership, true loyalty, and true courage are measured not by titles or power, but by dedication to Allah, service to humanity, and commitment to the truth. So whenever you feel overwhelmed by challenges, remember Abu Bakr. Remember the man who preserved Allah's words, protected the faith, and lived every day with courage, humility, and loyalty. Let his life inspire you to act with faith, to lead with sincerity, and to serve others with a heart devoted to Allah. Because true greatness is measured by the legacy you leave and the lives you touch. Have you ever wondered what it truly means to protect a faith, not just with words, but with courage, vision, and unshakable determination? Let me tell you about Abu Bakr, ERA, the man who carried Islam through its most fragile hours and ensured it would survive for all generations. Abu Bakr, RRA, wasn't just leading a community. He was fighting to keep the very identity of Islam alive. After the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, passed away, chaos erupted. Tribes began rebelling, some leaders claimed false prophethood, and many refused to pay charity. It was as if people had forgotten everything they had witnessed. The foundation of Islam was under threat, and the future of the faith hung in the balance. Abu Bakr, RA, could have chosen safety, compromise, or hesitation. He could have said, "Let's not push too hard, let's avoid conflict." But he didn't. He stood firm, declaring, "No, Islam doesn't bend. The truth does not change just because times get hard." With that clarity, he launched the Ridda Wars, reuniting the community through sheer determination and unwavering leadership. Many companions were nervous. Even Umar ibn al-Khattab initially questioned whether it was too much, but Abu Bakr, RA, remained resolute. "I will fight anyone who separates prayer from charity," he said. His firmness wasn't stubbornness, it was vision. He understood that even small cracks in the foundation could lead to the collapse of an entire faith. That's true foresight, seeing beyond the immediate moment and safeguarding the long-term survival of Islam. Abu Bakr, RA, didn't just survive these trials, he emerged victorious. He restored unity, brought rebellious tribes back into the fold, and proved that Islam was more than a temporary movement tied to one man. It was eternal. It would outlive the Prophet, PBUH, and continue thriving for centuries to come. That's legendary leadership, ensuring a movement survives long after its founder is gone, when history is littered with movements that fade away. But Abu Bakr's RA strength wasn't only in leadership, strategy, or politics. He was deeply spiritual. He wept during prayers, and reciting the Quran often moved him to tears. This combination of steel and softness is what makes him extraordinary. He carried unshakable firmness when defending truth, but a tender, heartfelt connection with Allah in worship. That balance is a mark of true greatness. Courage tempered by compassion, strength guided by faith. Even in matters of justice, Abu Bakr, RA, was exemplary. He judged fairly, without favoritism, showing that true leadership is rooted in principle, not power. Justice for him meant justice for everyone, friends, family, or stranger alike. People trusted him because they knew his decisions were guided by faith and righteousness, not ego or ambition. That's the essence of a protector, not someone who dominates through fear, but someone who preserves truth, justice, and faith with fairness and sacrifice. Abu Bakr, RA, exemplifies what it means to be a guardian of Islam. He didn't seek glory or personal gain. He gave everything, wealth, comfort, time, and even his heart, to ensure the survival and growth of the faith. He remained humble, devoted, and principled, proving that true leadership is service, true courage is loyalty, and true greatness is measured by the legacy left behind, not titles or wealth. His life teaches us a timeless lesson. When the world around you is uncertain, when fear threatens to paralyze, stand firm in faith, lead with clarity, act with justice, serve selflessly, and trust that Allah's guidance will preserve what is righteous. Abu Bakr, RA, didn't just defend Islam, he protected its soul, its message, and its future. And that, more than anything, is the mark of a true hero. So whenever you face challenges, think of Abu Bakr, R.A., the man who turned fear into courage, chaos into unity, and challenges into a legacy that has lasted over 14 centuries. Let his life inspire you to stand firm in faith, lead with integrity, and serve with a heart devoted to Allah, because real greatness is not measured by power or wealth. It's measured by loyalty, sacrifice, and the impact you leave behind for generations.